In chess, everyone's focused on avoiding blunders. But what if you flip the script? What if you become the trapper? Picture this: you dangle a pawn, a seemingly innocent bait, and watch as your opponent's greed takes over. They see that pawn, and suddenly they're blinded by the prospect of an easy capture. But here's the twist: you've set the stage for a brilliant counterattack. Let's talk about tactical themes that can turn the tide in your favor. First up, forks. A fork is when one piece attacks two or more of your opponent's pieces at the same time. Knights are particularly sneaky at this. Imagine your knight jumping into the fray, threatening both the queen and a rook. Your opponent has to choose which piece to save, and that's where you gain the upper hand. Then there are pins. A pin occurs when you immobilize an opponent's piece because moving it would expose a more valuable piece behind it. Think about a bishop pinning a knight to the queen. Your opponent can't move that knight without risking their queen. It's a powerful way to control the board and force your opponent into a defensive position. And let's not forget skewers. This tactic is like a pin but with a twist. You force your opponent to move a valuable piece, exposing something even more valuable behind it. Picture a rook lined up against the king. When you attack the rook, it's forced to move, and suddenly the king is in the crosshairs. These tactical themes, forks, pins, and skewers, are your in-game power-ups. They're not just about making moves, they're about creating opportunities. When you set a trap, you're not just waiting for your opponent to make a mistake, you're inviting them to take a risk. And when they do, you strike with precision. So, the next time you're on the board, think like a trapper. Lay your bait, watch your opponent's greed, and be ready to unleash your tactics. It's not just about avoiding blunders, it's about turning the game in your favor with clever traps and sharp strategies.
The center of the board, that's your turf. Think of it as prime real estate in the chess world. When you control the center, you control the game. It's like holding the aux cord in a car. You set the vibe. You want to be the DJ, not just a passenger. So, how do you take charge? Start with your pawns. Moves like e4 and d4 are your opening gambits. They're not just about advancing, they're about claiming territory. When you push those center pawns, you create space for your pieces to breathe and develop. Now, let's talk about knights. Knights on f3 and c3 are your early movers. They're like the bouncers at the club, protecting your center and keeping your opponent at bay. They control key squares and support your pawns. You want them in the action early, not sitting on the sidelines. But here's the kicker. Don't just rush in with your queen. Sure, she's powerful, but bringing her out too soon is like showing up to a party without a plan. You'll attract attention, but not the good kind. Instead, develop your minor pieces behind your pawns. Bishops can slide out to c4 or f4, targeting weak spots in your opponent's setup. Remember, it's all about synergy. Your pieces need to work together. When you own the center, your pieces have room to maneuver, and your opponent is left scrambling. So push those center pawns early, get your knights in the game, and let your bishops and rooks join the party. Control the center and you'll dictate the flow of the game. That's how you play like a boss. In chess, the key to victory lies in the balance of development and aggression. Before you launch a wild attack, focus on building your army. Get your knights and bishops out as quickly as possible. This isn't just about moving pieces, it's about controlling the board. The more pieces you have developed, the more options you create for yourself. And let's talk about castling. It's not just a fancy move, it's a crucial part of your strategy. Castling early helps safeguard your king and connects your rooks, setting you up for a strong mid-game. Leaving your king in the center, that's chess suicide. It's like inviting your opponent to a feast and serving them your king on a silver platter. Now, here's a quick trick. Don't move the same piece twice in the opening unless you're forcing a threat. Every move counts, and wasting time on a single piece can give your opponent the upper hand. Instead, focus on developing multiple pieces. This will not only strengthen your position, but also create threats that your opponent must respond to. Remember, chess is a game of strategy and patience. Develop your pieces, control the center, and keep your king safe. Once you've built a solid foundation, then you can unleash your attack. The best players know when to strike, and it all starts with a strong development phase. So, get those pieces out, castle early, and prepare to dominate the board. Your victory is just a few moves away. Chess isn't checkers. It's a game of strategy, foresight, and patience. Every time I sit down at the board, I remind myself, don't just react, predict. Before I make a move, I ask myself, what's my opponent planning? This question isn't just a formality, it's the key to unlocking the game's deeper layers. Imagine the board not just as it is, but as it will be. Picture it one or two moves ahead. Visualize the potential outcomes. It's like having a conversation with future me, who's already seen the traps and opportunities that lie ahead. This foresight is a gift I give to myself, allowing me to navigate the complexities of the game with confidence. Every piece I move should have a purpose. There's no room for wasted motion in chess. Each pawn, knight, and bishop has a role to play, and I need to ensure they're working towards a common goal. Am I setting up a strong defense? Am I preparing for an offensive strike? Each decision is a building block for my strategy. When I see my opponent make a move, I don't just react instinctively. I analyze it. What does that move reveal about their strategy? Are they trying to control the center? Are they setting a trap? By understanding their intentions, I can counteract effectively and stay one step ahead. Chess teaches me patience. It's not about rushing to capture pieces. It's about positioning myself for the win. I remind myself that every game is a lesson. Even if I lose, I gain insights that sharpen my skills for the next match. So, as I sit at the board, I embrace the challenge. I focus on the future, strategizing each move with intention. In chess, every decision counts. And with each purposeful move, I'm not just playing the game, I'm mastering it.
Trading pieces in chess isn't just about making random moves. It's a strategic dance of math and mood. When you find yourself ahead in material, that's your cue to trade. Why? Because simplifying the position can help you convert that advantage into a win. If you're up a rook, for instance, trading queens can streamline the game, reducing your opponent's chances to create complications. On the flip side, if you're down material, like a knight, you want to keep the tension on the board. Avoid unnecessary trades and look for ways to complicate the position. The more pieces you have, the more chances you create for your opponent to slip up. Think of it this way: when you're ahead, you want to cash in your chips. But when you're behind, you need to play for the long game, creating chaos and hoping for mistakes. It's all about reading the mood of the game and making calculated decisions. So, remember, whether you're trading or holding back, always play the numbers and the psychology of the position. That's how you truly trade like a stockbroker in chess.